With Dark and Darker recently being released on Steam, I know there's a lot of new players who are joining the community, so I figured now would be a pretty decent time to make content for the game. I've been playing since the second playtest, and I have 1500 hours right now. This video is going to be a guide on how to level up quickly. You want to hit level 15 as fast as you can so you have access to all 4 perk slots. You don't really get to experience the game the way it was intended until you have access to all of your perks. The first thing you want to do is go to your quest log at the bottom of the play tab and accept all of your quests. As you turn these in, they're going to give you XP so you can hit these levels faster. The next thing you want to do is go to class and then go to perks and skills. The first perk that I like to run is Jokester. It gives you +2 all to all of your attributes. If you look on the left side here, you have very low strength and very low vigor, so you don't do much damage and you don't have much HP. So Jokester just helps mitigate those weaknesses. The next step is going to be going to your Merchants tab, go to your Squire. This guy controls what your base kit is going to be starting off. To begin with, I like using the Rondel Dagger more than the Castellan, so you take this off because you don't want to dual wield both, because having both daggers equipped, the Castellan is going to give you -10 movement speed. So we're going to take that off. Take off your adventure tunic. You don't start with much HP to begin with, so +3 is not that much. I like taking the wanderer attire. It gives you dexterity, which is going to be more attack speed. You've got 2 different selections for boots here. I like running the adventurer boots because they have more movement speed than the other option, which is the heavy boots. After that, I like to move my torch here. Make sure you put on the protection potion, equip your health pots, and the campfire as well. And then you want to put on a rapier because this is what you're going to be killing all of the PvE in the raid with. Set your base gear and go ahead and equip it. You want to go back to your Merchants tab, and if you go to Goblin Merchant and then look at Quest, Goblin Merchant has most of your quests for the Goblin Caves, and your first quest here is to kill 5 Goblin Archers, Axemen, and Warriors, and that's what we're going to try to do in the first raid. The best advice I can give to a new player, no matter what class you're playing on, is to go to spellsandguns.com. Here they have a Dark and Darker wiki with a lot of really good information on it. But the biggest advantage, I think, is the interactive maps that they have here. They have every map as well as the different variations to them. We're going to be starting on Goblin Caves today. So they have the name of every room that you can go in. They also have every enemy type, and if you click on these, it'll show you where they're at on the map. Our first quest that we're starting with is going to be, part of it is killing Goblin Archers, so this is going to help you find those. Lion's Head chests are really good for you to find. These have higher rarity items in them, and sometimes you can find the chest unlocked. But the biggest advantage, I think, is knowing where the health shrines are. Especially on a class like Rogue, you don't have any healing built into your kit other than the potions, bandages, and the campfire that you walk in with. So if you learn the locations of each of these health shrines, after you take damage from players or from mobs, then these are going to be really good for you to know the locations of. Starting with our first game here, my best advice is to try to make it out of your first room every time without taking any damage. Your ability Rupture has a pretty low cooldown, so use that as frequently as you can to kill the mobs faster. third quest for the Goblin Merchant is to turn in 10 Goblin ears, so every time you kill the Goblin, it's a good idea to check them to see if they have an ear for you. Until you have access to the rest of your perks, I recommend that you avoid other players, but I was pretty curious to see what was going on here, and they were actually friendly. You spam crouch people, if they spam crouch you back, they might be friendly, but often people betray people.
I don't know who this guy is, he just showed
be
up.
Careful.
What's up, man? The meds?
I've been trying.
Better yet, here's a campfire for your second win. Just sit down.
Oh, nice.
Rogue guy, run away from everybody. Here's some good boots you can wear.
Good luck, fellas.
Most players don't know about this room, so it's always a good spot for you to pick up 3 of the Goblin Archers that you need. This is where having really good map knowledge comes in handy. I've taken too much damage. I don't want to use my potions or bandages. I would like to take them into the next raid with me. I know where the closest health shrine is, so I'm gonna go use that instead. I'm level 5 after the first game, so we're gonna go ahead and equip Poison Weapon to our build. I always go to the Collector first after a game, and you use him to sell all of the treasure that you find. And you can go to most of the other merchants to sell whatever items that you don't want to hold on to or take back into the game with you. Turn in your Goblin Merchant quest and accept the next one. Your next quest is just exploring the cave altar location. All you have to do is just step into the room and make it out alive that round. Go back to the Squire and reset your base kit. This is going to give you free potions, bandages, and throwing knives to restart the next game with. Now that we have a little bit of gold to work with, you can use the Alchemist to buy extra health potions and the Surgeon to buy extra bandages. From the Woodsman, you're going to want to buy the hand crossbow and bolts and extra throwing knives so that you can soften up these targets before you try to fight them in melee range. Most of the merchants are going to be rotating their stock, but the leathersmith will have the riveted gloves and the lightfoot boots, and the tailor is going to have the shadow mask and the loose trousers, and these are the best armor pieces for your class. The rarity of the items that you bring in with you is going to determine your gear score, and the game is set up in brackets so that you're not matched with players that heavily outgear you. Since I don't have access to all of my perks yet, I just want the easiest game that I can, so I'm going to be playing in the 0 to 24 bracket. Nothing happens in game 2 or 3, I'm just killing mobs, collecting goblin ears, and popping as many health shrines and opening up as many portals as I can. I turn in the quest for 10 goblin ears, and the next one is going to be killing 15 mummies. After the third game, I'm over level 10, so I equip Ambush. Mostly I'm just using this as an ability to reposition with. I double check my gear score again to make sure I have everything I need, make sure my gear score is 24 or below, and I'm good. Here in the pregame lobby, I'm showing you that my movement speed is 308. But if I pop hide while I'm running, then it will instantly proc ambush, and that takes my movement speed from 308 to the movement speed cap, which is 330. My focus this game is just going to each location that the mummy spawn, because I need to kill 15, which will probably take me 2 games to do. There's a player blocking my way from a mummy spawn location in the other room, and I decided to see if he was going to be friendly when I could have just stabbed him in the back here. I use the nearest health shrine for a faster heal and to use less resources. After 4 games, I'm over level 15. I have access to all of my perks and I can actually play the game now. This first setup I recommend running is for 0 to 24 lobbies. You're always going to take Dagger Mastery because this is the only perk that directly benefits a weapon, so it doesn't make sense to use Rapier for PvP when you get an extra 15% damage bonus from daggers. I recommend taking Stealth so you can reposition while you're in your hide. If you're in the 0 to 24 bracket, then I still recommend taking Jokester because you still don't have the stats, and Jokester giving you +2 all is better than other things in my opinion. These last few setups are for when you're running 25 and up lobbies. You should be getting more stats from your gear, so you can take off Jokester and run other perks instead. This build you add Poisoned Weapon and you continue to run Rupture. This will allow you to win the matchups that you're supposed to be winning harder. This build you take off Rupture and add Cutthroat. This will prevent other classes from using their abilities, but it's mostly used to prevent mages from casting. And the final build I'm showing is going to be adding Thrust and Weak Point. Thrust will ignore 20% of their armor, and Weak Point will reduce their additional armor bonus. So this build is for hunting down the tankier players. Thank you so much for watching my first Dark and Darker video. Please like, comment, and follow for more content, and good luck in your games.